What's up, guys? Mster Knows Hoops back today with another video. And today, I first want to apologize to you guys for the very poorly made thumbnail last video. That was just on me. I got too content, I guess. But I really want to thank you guys. We're almost to 560 subs, trying to hit 600 before October. I mean, at that point, we're 400 away from 1,000. And if we can do that in about a year, that will really, really, really be impressive. But I want to thank you guys for all your love and support. But today, we are going to do my Eastern Conference predictions, following up, obviously, my Western ones. Shout out to Matt, by the way, for making the thumbnail. I'm going to link his Twitter down below. He does really great work. Talk to him for commissions. So, today, let's get right into it. Now, to me, I think some of these are going to be obvious. Like the Bucks, obvious playoff team. You got arguably the best player in the world. They're a great regular season team. You do have your new coach in Adrian Griffin. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all kind of works out. But I'm really excited to see how this team kind of picks it up and plays. Obviously, Boston's a playoff team. I mean, with the addition of Porzingis, you do lose Marcus Smart, which kind of doesn't really help your guard play. But I mean, you have JT, JB, Porzingis, Robert Williams, Al Horford, Derek White. You just have a nice squad. It's very hard pressed to really convince me that this team would not make the playoffs. Now, if Harden is still there, the 76ers are a playoff team. I think this is pretty easily something we can all agree on. Now, for the East, this is when things get interesting. Because I really do feel like after the first three teams, like those three teams I just put in the playoff tier, you have nothing short of chaos, right? Like, okay, I think the Cavs are a playoff team. I don't know if they're going to be as good as last year, but I think they're a playoff team. They're just better constructed than a lot of rosters in the East. Now, this is where things get interesting because I'm kind of wondering, right, like, if the Heat get Dame, they're an obvious playoff team. But they've lost a lot of pieces, and they struggled by making it into the play-in, right? So I'm like, okay, how am I really feeling about this unit? But some part of me thinks they rebound and they get to that 6th seed. Now, if they have Dame, I think they're an obvious lock for a playoff team. I'm not even concerned about it at that point. And to me, the last real playoff team is probably going to be the Knicks. The Knicks are still a really good roster. We still have Brunson, Randall, Barrett, Robinson, Hartenstein, Hart. You have just such a good all-around unit. And I think time in and time out, they'll be good. Now, to be fair, with the Knicks, every other time they do kind of end up taking a step back. So if they do, that'll be very interesting. Now, I want to hold off on the play-in because I think we have already our suspects for going back to the lottery. The Hornets, Pistons, the Wizards. To me, those three teams right off the rip, you're going back to the lottery. Let's not even waste our time. Now, the play-in. This is where things get very, very, very interesting to me. All right. To me, Indiana might be a play-in team. I love this unit. I think that you have Tyrese Mathurin. You just got, you just picked up Walker in the draft for a 4 spot. Benedict Mathurin's still there. Now, you're about to trade Buddy Hield. Now, that could also make their team a lot better depending on what they could get in return. And you have Bruce Brown, who, again, I like Bruce Brown. And I think for this unit, they'll be very good. Now, this is where things get a little weird. I think the Nets are a play-in team. Now, again, I'll be interested to see how they adapt, how teams adapt to Mikal Bridges for sure being the number one guy now. You know, you still have Cam Thomas, who I, to this day, don't understand why Vince Vaughn does not... Jacques Vaughn, sorry, not Vince Vaughn, not the actor. Why Jacques Vaughn refuses to play him. I don't know if he's something in the locker room. I don't get it. To me, the dude's been a bucket when you give him actual minutes. But they just have a nice roster, but just not good enough to make the playoffs in terms of just, being that succeed. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because you have my Bulls, the Raptors, the Magic, the Hawks. See, guys, I'm at a loss looking at this. Like, to me, the Raptors got worse. I think the Raptors are going to go to the lottery, and I think they're going to trade Siakam. So I think they blow it up. Right? But now there's only 2 spots remaining for the play-in. I'm probably going to go. The Hawks probably make it to the play-in again. Now, you see, this is where things get interesting because we renewed Vucevic for God knows what reason. I really don't understand why. We still have Levine. DeMar's on the last year of his contract. Please don't renew him. Please trade him and get some capital back. To me, this will be the year the Magic get real close. That they'll be knocking on that door of the play-in. But for now, I'll say the Bulls are the final play-in team, with the Magic really kind of being right there next to them. I think it'll probably go something like that in terms of just how I think the bottom of the East is going to look. We'll probably have that Magic being that like 11 seed, Raptors like a 12 seed, and I think the Wizards could probably be dead last, and maybe the Pistons if K gets hurt again. I guess that's my thing too, you guys. I was thinking about this, right? Do you think, or do we think, I guess, Brooklyn is a guaranteed play-in team? Or does Brooklyn start trading some of these really good vets they got in favor of blowing it up? You know? Because Mikal's just getting his trade value up and up and up. You for sure can get at least 2 first-round picks off of that. To me, no doubt. I mean, Mikal Bridges got traded in a KD trade, so in some way, shape, or form, he has a really good trade value already. The Hawks are a weird club to me. Because my thing with the Hawks is they should probably be that 6th seed, right? Like, they could be better than the Knicks. But the thing with the Hawks is there's always a stretch in the season where they just can't win a game with their life dependent on it. And my Bulls, the most infuriating team I have to watch, of course, because, oh my God. But to me, I think I'm fairly confident in the first 4 teams I put up in the playoffs. Like the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Cavs. I think we should all just be prepared to tune in for them in the playoffs. The Heat and the Knicks are where things get a little messy. Because I'm like, again, the Heat have done nothing really short of lose pieces. I mean, they picked up Jason Richardson, but I mean, you lost like Strus. You've lost pieces that I'm like, it's hard for me to fully buy into this team going right back into the playoffs after barely making the play-in. The Knicks, obviously, so far, they've been every other year. They made the playoffs back in 2021, right? Yes, because that's the year Giannis won the chip. And then they didn't even make the play-in the following year. But I think that their roster is just much better now than it was then. The Pacers, I feel fairly confident, unless Tyrese gets hurt again. Because he did towards, I think it was the middle of the season, and he missed just a good chunk of the year. And at that point, they just tanked. Like, not even willingly. Like, they just were not good without him. Which is understandable, obviously. That's your best player. I think the Nets are a weird one, too, because it's like, okay, I can imagine if I swap them. Like, let's say the Nets have Dorian Finney-Smith, right? And they're like, I could trade him for a good second-round pick. And maybe another young guy for a contending team. Boom, he's traded. Dinwiddie, okay, I could trade him to some contending team as a 6th, 7th man. And I could get maybe, another young guy, maybe a couple seconds. Boom, he's gone. And just slowly you see Brooklyn start, turning their pieces into draft capital, unless they're trying to retool. But I think realistically, it's probably going to be something like this. If I had to guess, I think Toronto's going to trade Siakam by the trade deadline. I think the Heat acquired Dame probably during the trade deadline, like halfway through the season. But I think they'll still be a solid enough team because I think they're going to have to be to try and get Tyler Hero's trade value up if they really are trying to move Tyler Hero, because obviously a big part of it is that Portland doesn't want him. So they would have to probably move Tyler somewhere else. So that'll be very interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think down below. As always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. That'll be in the description. This is Amsterdam No Soups. I really appreciate you guys for all your time and all your efforts. Let me know who you guys think is going to be in the play-in. And do you think any of my playoff teams, I'm going to assume that you guys are fairly confident in the first 4 teams I put as well. But do you think the Knicks or the Heat might fall out of the playoffs, or one of these play-in teams, or another team just in general is like surprisingly jump up and take a spot? So as always, guys, let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for your day, guys. Have a beautiful one. Thank you all.